What is up, y'all? Happy August 6th. Happy Tuesday. I know you're probably like, girl, don't you have a podcast? Why are you doing a voice note right now or audio recording right now? But the gag is they changed some of the features with the app that I use to do my podcast, and I need to just sit down and dedicate some time to remembering my login and password and all the things, and didn't really feel like figuring that out right now. As you can hear, you may be able to hear, I'm literally outside. It was a rainy, torrential downpour, kind of a rainy evening. And I think in the New York streets, it's going to be raining for the next couple of days, actually. But I was just out with the girls. We went to Sangria's, had a good time. I was out with my close friends, Monique, a friend that I grew up with, and Lorena, one of my close friends from college. And, we were just out tonight, enjoying a night. We're all parents, we're all boy moms, even though my friend Mo has two daughters as well. But we all just embrace being able to be outside. When you become, I can only speak from a mother perspective, but when you become a mom, and especially, I had a child during the pandemic, right in the thick of it. My son was born July 18th of 2020. And so the last, I would say, halfway into the second trimester and my third trimester, I was on lockdown in the house with the rest of the world. And then, of course, I had my child, and then the world was still kind of like on lockdown, but like slowly opening up. And so I say all that to say the last, I would say, 4 years of my life, maybe 3.5 years of my life, I really wasn't out and about like that. I wasn't in the streets, for more reasons than one. And this year, 2024, has been such a great year of rejuvenation for me. And maybe this will be more of like my birthday reflections. I tend to do those every year. My birthday was last Monday, July 29th. Thanks be to Jesus, I made it to see the age of 41. And so this year has been a year of rejuvenation, in many ways. Of course, one way that may seem more in the forefront as it pertains to what I post and what I share on my social media is my artistry, and building a professional career, as a singer-songwriter. I've been able to cover some amazing ground this year that I'm so thankful for. And God continues to wow and amaze me. Like I said, I haven't been sharing things until they've been done, but just know there's so much other stuff that's happening that's amazing and great. And in due time, I will share. But it's been a rejuvenation with that. I probably sound like a broken record when I say these last 2.5 years, I feel like I was on the bench and not a lot going on. But really, there was things going on. When I sit back and reflect and think about it, I believe that God was pruning me and really getting me ready spiritually, getting my head together mentally for what it takes to pursue this at a professional level. And also, just in different areas of my life, it was necessary for me to kind of have those 2 years to sit down. As difficult and challenging as it was for me, I'm someone who's always out and about, doing a lot of things. It was hard to kind of sit back and scale back. But I can look back now and say it was necessary. That's the only reason why I'm able to be up for the challenge and to be able to do certain things that I've been blessed to do this year, because I had those 2.5 years to really sit and prepare, myself in more ways than one. And so it's been a year of that, even just with my career in general, as far as, when I say career, with my day-to-day job and all the things. I work for a real estate agent, and I was able to see 2 or 3 promotions in a 1.5 year time span. And so there was a lot going on there, which I'm blessed, and thankful for, grateful for. And then, so going back to the whole thing, being able to go out, I appreciate it when I'm able to go out on a random Tuesday and have tacos and drinks, because today is Taco Tuesday, and have tacos and drinks with my girls. Like, I don't take that for granted, the way I might have prior to becoming a mom. Being able to do that and get that time away that I need, because I'm a work from home mom, as many of you may know, and so I'm with my son pretty much 24/7, and I love that little boy with all of my heart and with the depths of my soul. However, hard stop, period, boom, next sentence. What I will also say is that being a mom is a difficult job, a thankless job, as I like to say. It takes everything out of you. And so in order for me to be good to my son, I also need to have moments where I can step away and have adult conversations outside of my house and be out and change the scenery and change the vibe so that I can kind of fill my cup, if you will, and then go back into mommy mode, work mode, artistry mode, wife mode, all the things, right? I wear many hats, so it's not always the easiest, but being able to have a couple of hours out definitely helps, and it rejuvenates me. So this has really been a year of rejuvenation. We're already 8 months into the year. I know I had did a video just encouraging everyone, to stop and smell the roses and take a look back at the last 7 months and see what you have accomplished within your life. And everything doesn't have to be career oriented, just in general. Take a pause and look back and see what you've accomplished these last 7 months, and then, based off of what you see and analyze, figure out how you want to end the year off, what you want these next 4 months to be, and it sounds crazy to say that because we have September, October, November, December, and then we're back to a new year, right? And so 4 months, that's what, 90 days is 3 months. So 4 months is like almost 120 days plus whatever. I'm not good at math. Had a couple of drinks, but you get what I'm saying. It's, right there, and when you look at the year in terms of first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, or if you look at the year in terms of the first 6 months and the last 6 months, you realize that time is never on our side, and that it goes very fast and very quickly, and so if there's certain things that you are looking to do and to accomplish or to kickstart or whatever it is, once again, it does not have to be focused on career solely or at all, just whatever it is that you are looking to accomplish in your life, when you break the year down that way, or whichever way you choose to, you recognize that, wow, time is just zooming by. And so, I've been forcing myself to stop and smell the roses, because I could just hunker down and be so focused with the work of it all and just getting things done, because I'm one of those people where I must complete what I, start. I must finish what I start. And so I can get lost in the work and not even be able to celebrate what was achieved, the small wins or victories, the large ones, right? And I did I think I posted a few Instagram stories on my ShayChannel artist page, which you should be following, at ShayChannel on IG, at ShayChannel32 on TikTok, at ShayChannel on Facebook, that if we're not careful, we won't even see the small wins and the small victories, which are important because it's what helps the ultimate bigger picture win, if you will. And I had shared that, as superficial as this may sound, I'm a new artist. I'm an independent new artist at that. And so I fund pretty much 98% of what I do on my own. And so I have to be really, really smart, diligent, responsible, fiscally responsible, that is, with the budget that I allot towards my artistry, because I do have other responsibilities in life in general, as we all do, right? And so it was a nice win for me where I've been telling myself, you are going to shop in your own closet. Like, you are not going to be going out here and spending money. I don't care that you don't shop at expensive stores. I don't care that you shop at Target, Shein, Old Navy. You shop at, stores that don't cost a huge coin. It doesn't matter. You're going to shop in your own closet and save the money, because you need to save the money, because you know what you're allocating XYZ amount of funds for and towards. You know that, Chanel. So don't get caught up when you stop in Target to get your weekly list of things for you and your son or your household, and now want to deviate and try to buy clothes. Like, you have a closet full of clothes. You call yourself someone who enjoys fashion. You like to say that you have an eye for fashion. Well, put yourself to the test and create looks out of what you already have. And that's why I've been taking pictures. I mean, anyone who knows me, if you've been rocking out with me since Complex Simplicity early days, a part of my website was everyday fashion for an everyday girl. I'm more of a streetwear girl, everyday fashion type of girl with a twist, right? And so every day before I would go to work, I'd take pictures and post them, and I'd be able to share where I bought my clothes, because a lot of times I was buying my clothes from the Targets, the Old Navies of the world. Like, and my biggest point was, you don't have to spend a lot of money or necessarily wear designer brands to actually look dope and look fly and put that stuff on. You know what I'm saying? When you step out the house, like, it doesn't have to be that way. You can shop at very much so cost-effective places and still turn heads when you enter the room, and so I've been posting pictures I've been more inspired and back in like my fashion bag. Once again, these last 3 years, 4 years, 3 years, we were in a pandemic. I wasn't really putting that stuff on the way that I normally would, and the way, just to even enjoy the fashion of it all, right? And so for some of y'all that may be like, why is she always posting pics of herself in clothes now? Or, why does she do the same poses? The ones who used to rock out with me on my Complex Simplicity Instagram page, YouTube channel, and my website, you would know that I would always kind of post myself in outfits, do the same pose each and every time, which is always like a side profile pose. Like, so I've kind of been throwing it back to like my roots, if you will. But I've been having fun shopping in my closet, y'all. Like, I bought, first of all, the fact that I can pretty much still fit a majority of what's in my closet after having a baby and gaining weight and losing weight and gaining weight and losing weight, because it's always an up and down uphill battle. I just try to make sure I remain in a certain range of weight, a range of sizes, and not get, but I'm back on my workout grind. We ain't got time for that. I'm 41. The metabolism slows down, so your girl be on her workout vibe and grind. But it's been fun playing in my closet and just mixing and matching, right? Like, a lot of tops that I wear are black tops, simple tops that I could easily mix and match with different pieces, whether it's a skirt, whether it's like tonight out with my girls, I wore these powder blue linen pants with a black summer shirt. I'm a girl that loves a tie-up sleeve. If you haven't noticed, the pic I posted yesterday is of me wearing a cute denim dress with tie-up sleeves. And then I kind of cropped the shirt, meaning I took a hair tie and cropped it in the back. These Amazon glasses have me in a chokehold, y'all. I think the brand is Salal, I forgot. But I feel like these glasses just elevate any look for the most part. I wore sandals today. I didn't put no heels on. And then something told me to start looking in my closet at my purses and my bags, because I used to work for Coach. I used to work for Coach for about 2 years as one of the managers on the management team. And the perk to working at Coach is the fact that we would get 65% off at least 4 to 6 times a year. And even our normal discount was 50% off. So I was able, and I worked on the retail side, not the outlet side. Nothing wrong with the outlet, but just differentiating. It's a different level of quality when you work on the retail side from the outlet side. The outlet side tends to have lots of coated canvas bags, which are cute. Those are more of the printed bags with the logos and stuff. When you work on the retail side, you're really getting, the quality of leathers, and things of that nature, right? And so I took advantage of the discount and would buy, every time we had 65% off, I would purchase a bag for myself. And sometimes I won bags during the holidays. There would be different competitions, and every year I would win one of the competitions, and I would be able to get a bag for free, like a bag that might have been $300, $275, $150. I would win. So I say all that to say I have a pretty nice collection of Coach bags, and something told me to look into my closet because I have them all stored in their duster bags. So I'm not necessarily seeing them, right? But something told me to go through my bags, and I realized, like, girl, you got this cute belt bag, a black belt bag that would just look dope with the outfit. You got the powder blue linen pants. You're wearing this black top that you cropped. Put the belt bag through your pant loops. And then, of course, it's multifunctional because that's where I'm keeping my wallet and my lipstick and my car keys and my Altoids. I'm an Altoid girl. My essentials could fit in there. Because when I go out socially, I do not want to have a bag, on my shoulder or shoulder bag. If anything, I want a crossbody bag or like a belt bag, like what I got on. And then I started going through the rest of my duster bags and realized I forgot about the bags that I had. Like, during the pandemic, I wasn't pulling out my nice Coach bags. And then, like, having a child, a lot of times I'm bringing a diaper bag when he was smaller, or like even now, there's always some kind of a bag that I have in the car that has my son's essentials. He needs his cup that he drinks his juice, and doesn't drink juice. He needs his cup that he drinks his water out of. I always need to bring a change of clothes. He's 4, but he's a child. Things happen. I always need to have certain essentials for him, wipes and all kinds of things. And what would tend to happen is I would just put my stuff in a little pouch and just put it in his bag. So there was no need for me to be wearing any of my quality handbags. But now that I'm getting more time to be out and about, whether I'm going out and about professionally on my artist tip, like yesterday I was out on my artist tip and I was able to wear one of my other Coach bags. Tonight I was out socially with my friends. I wore my belt bag. Like, I was just reacquainting myself with the things that I have, which is like, girl, this is why you need to shop in your own closet, because you have tons of things. And so I've just been coming up with looks and having fun with it. I'm a denim girl. So most of the looks I've been posting, they're looks that have to do with denim. And I feel like I'm back in my bag, my fashion bag, right? Like, this is the person I have always been. I might have put her aside a little bit once I became a mom, and I would pop up and put that thing on here and there, but now I'm back to it consistently, right? And it feels so good. And then even just being an artist, in all honesty, I want to, wherever I go, whether I'm out for fun or I'm out professionally, I want to pull up a certain way where it's clear I'm an artist, right? Like, it's clear, like, who is this girl? Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially when I'm going out professionally. Like yesterday, I was out professionally and I was getting a lot of compliments. I had to stop at the grocery store before I had to go to my destination. And, women were stopping me at Stop and Shop, like, oh my gosh, you look so beautiful. You look so nice. Granted, I just had on my little tie-up, my denim dress with the tie-up sleeves, my Amazon glasses. I had on my nude block heels, which tend to be, I love those shoes because they go with every and anything. And I know my hairstyle is very funky, which makes it very artist-like in a sense. I do have braids in my hair. I do them. I get by. I'm not the nicest braider, but I get by with doing my own hair and saving a good coin. But my sides are shaved, right? And so it just gives a different vibe. I was complimented. Men were complimenting me. People I don't know, women were complimenting me. The place that I was at, I was getting compliments. And when I walked in the door, I think people were able to tell she's an artist, you know what I'm saying? And I like that. I want everything to be in alignment, from my music to how I present myself, with my fashion and everything, my personality. I'm chill, I'm laid back, I'm cool, like I'm truly being who I am. And I just like how it's all packaged. And I really sleep well at night knowing that I didn't dip into money that I shouldn't have dipped into because I just felt pressed to buy a new outfit because I'm going to this event. Or like, no, I could sleep well at night knowing I didn't spend any additional money. I didn't dip into funds I shouldn't have dipped into. I shopped in my own closet and I've been able to produce some looks, and I'm happy about that. So I want to encourage you, fellow new artists out there, because people don't always talk about that, right? I don't know what the men go through on their end as new artists as far as the drip that they put on, but I know as far as us women, I feel like the expectations are high as far as what people expect, for how people expect for us to show up and look. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're not careful, you can find yourself getting caught up in whatever you may think those expectations are. And you may find yourself like spending money that you don't even have, right? Like, I don't know about y'all, but I got stuff, other things that my money has to be allocated towards, right? I am going to be shooting another music video soon. That has to be paid for. Like, there are other things that I have to pay for. You know what I'm saying? And so, no, girl, shop in your own closet. And also what I will say to my fellow artists out there, especially women, new artists, is don't feel like you have to succumb to a particular look, right? Like, every artist is different. We all have our own individuality. We all like what we like and have our own different tastes. And so I just say, be true to what your natural fashion aesthetic is. And then I'll also say, try to wear things that complement your body type, right? And, for me, I've even been having fun, because anyone who knows me knows in the summertime, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm an inspirational artist, all the things, yes, but how I dress doesn't always match that. I'm gonna keep it a thou wow with you. I'm known in the summertime to be wearing short shorts, always showing thigh or something. This year I said to myself, just in general as a woman, do something different this year, Chanel. Don't just go to wearing shorts. Now, it doesn't mean that I didn't wear any shorts this summer. I did, and the one pair that I did kind of wear out, I made sure it was longer than what my shorts normally would be. I have a tattoo on my thigh. My rule of thumb is if you see my tattoo when I have shorts on, it means that my shorts are a little too short at this stage in my life. I'm 41, somebody's mama, somebody's wife, like, reel it in, girl. And so I also had fun pushing myself to still give that same vibe and aesthetic that I like. And I'm gonna be real, there's a certain way that I like to dress that gives some level of sexy, right? But it could give that level of sexy. It just doesn't need to be where you're wearing things that are revealing. And so for me, I'm still down with wearing a crop top, but I know for me, the crop top could only be a certain length, right? I'm a busty Betty out here anyway. And so, my crop tops have to land a certain length. I'm short-waisted, so that even ties in with wearing things that are more flattering. So I'm down with the crop tops, but it has to be a certain length and not like bralette type situation, right? But I had fun with, wearing things that I genuinely like and feel great in and feel a little sexy in, which is important to me as someone who, has had a child and my body has changed. And sometimes you kind of feel like you could lose that feeling of being sexy. So I had fun with like just coming up with different looks that didn't include me wearing booty shorts, if I'm keeping it real. And looks that I can wear as an artist, looks that I could wear comfortably as an inspirational artist and not feel like I'm inappropriate, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that I would wear a crop top to everything that I'm asked to sing at or that I'm singing at. No, but I will always be the person that tiptoes that fine line of ratchet and righteous, as Charlemagne was saying. But I think I found a good mojo. So what I would say is to my new artists who are females out there who are independent artists. You do not have that label pushing, that backing, or that sponsor, that investor that's like really throwing money your way. It's more so you're funding everything on your own. Like, feel free to shop in your own closet and challenge yourself to come up with some looks. And then, like, don't feel like you have to look a certain way because you're a particular artist, right? Just really figure out what works for you. And I think it's important, to have a look that is identifiable only for you, because that's also going to help people to know who you are. It may be that it may be how you look, unfortunately, that attracts people to even listen to your music. You know what I'm saying? Or to check out your social media, your TikTok, your IG pages. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it is because there's some kind of a unique look. I have another job where I'm a dance teacher. I teach hip hop dance with my sis niece. And so we've been off for the summer, but we go back in a matter of weeks, actually. It's crazy how time flies. Our job will have different weeks: Spirit Week, wear your pajamas to class week, dress like your teachers week. One day they had dress like your teachers. I couldn't make it that day. Either my son was sick or my childcare fell through, something happened. I couldn't go to work that day. And that particular day was dressed like your teacher's week. And Denise told me that there was a student that came in dressed like me. And that just warmed my heart, because it means that I have a distinct style, right? If your student is going to come dressed like you for dress like your teacher week, it's because you have a distinct style. Like, even in what I would wear to teach dance, there's still a distinct style there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, great, because I was thinking of that even more as an artist. Like, I wanted to be where there's a very distinct style. I've always, in my perspective, I have always had a distinct style. And so that just warmed my heart to know that there was a student who took the time out, and their parent, to help them, they took the time out to want to come to class dressed like me. That told me that I have a very distinct style. And I think that that's important as an artist: distinct style in your sound of music, distinct style in how you physically represent yourself and present yourself, your style, your drip. I do think that those things matter. Different things attract people for different reasons, And yesterday I was at an event. I'm not going to speak much about it. In due time, I'll reveal. But I was at an event last night, and it was an event where it was singers, rappers, all the things. And there was this singer there, a fellow artist. There's an artist there, and she was talented. Her song was dope. But her physical representation of herself wasn't the best. And I hate that there's that side of society and of the music industry that is very superficial, but that matters. And someone else, another artist that was at that event, a couple of us were kind of exchanging social media and talking afterwards. And this guy who's a rapper, he's an artist, he was just like, mentioned how it just wasn't a good look. And I was like, I hate that that's what it is as far as the superficiality of it. I said, but unfortunately, it's just a reality that we all kind of have to accept. Like, how you represent yourself in these events, in these spaces, in these rooms is important. It does hold some level of weight. Like, how you pull up matters. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say that, but it does. And as talented as this woman is, because she's around my age, as talented as she is, her physical representation didn't help. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, so that's where I say, wearing, and it's not that she was looking bummy or anything like that. She just had on a dress that just wasn't for her body type, and it just didn't flatter her in any way. And she's singing R&B and stuff, and we already know the vibes, y'all, right? When you're singing R&B, hip hop, and all that kind of stuff, as a female artist, there's an expectation. I hate to say that, but it just is reality. There's an expectation there with how one should present themselves. I'm not saying you need to look like a hoochie mama, but I'm saying you got to put it together in a way that flatters what you have, right? We all don't have the typical body. We definitely all don't have the BBL look, and I already see the BBL look is kind of going out of style, and I'm happy for that, because I'm all about the natural bodies. No shade to anyone who's had work done, but I just think that there's something so beautiful about the natural body and embracing how God made you, right? And then if there are things we feel we need to work on or lose weight or tighten up or tone, there's ways to do that without going under a knife, right? But I'm not going to get too deep and dangerous into all of that, because that turns into a whole other conversation, which could be held on another day. But, she didn't really wear something that was flattering for her figure, right? My thing is, work with what you got. Work with what you got, but just try to put stuff on that actually flatters you. And even if you pull up in all black, you can never go wrong with all black in any career, in any aspect or facet of life. There's nothing wrong with wearing all black. Can't go wrong with it, right? Even if you wear all black, just wear wear a silhouette that works with what your body type is. You know what I'm saying? For me, I spend time on Pinterest, and I spend time just paying attention to little things when it comes to body types and fashion. I pay attention to the YouTubers I watch, and not duplicating and copycatting, but just as far as, okay, Chanel, for your kind of body type, this is what works. You know what I'm saying? You have long legs, a short torso, you're thick in the same vein, but you're the kind of thick that could get away with certain things, meaning I can fit plus size clothing, but I also predominantly wear regular size clothing, if that makes sense, right? So I'm not someone who has to shop in a plus size section, but if I happen to be in a store that is a plus size store, I can get away with getting a piece from there too. A majority of my shopping is in, like I said, the Targets, the Old Navys, where I'm wearing regular sizes, right? I'm not wearing the plus size, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like I said, I go to some plus size stores and I'm able to get pieces there too. But, I pay attention to what works, so I'm thicky, right? I do have a fupa. I had a child, right? I've always had some level of a belly, even at my smallest weight, but I'm not someone who likes to put the fupa on display. So I've figured out, I am losing weight too, but I still have figured out how the types of pants and dresses and tops and things that work for me that do not put the fupa on display, if that makes sense, right? I pay attention to those things and try to apply them so that when I am out, whether I'm out personally, socially, or professionally, that I'm able to represent myself in a way that makes me feel confident and makes me feel like when I pulled up where I was at yesterday, people looked at, like, people were stopping me in the street prior to me getting to the event, but people noticed me in the room as an artist, not just somebody who sings or somebody who's doing this on a hobby level. Like, they were able to tell that I was serious about what I do and that I'm an actual artist. Like, I'm not just here to just be here, right? Without me even having to say that, how I walked into the room and how I looked, I hate to say that, but it's the reality. How I looked and how I presented myself is what it gave, she's an artist, right? And then when I sang and did whatever it was I did, that just confirmed, yep, she's an artist. You know what I'm saying? So those things do matter. So more than even just the whole drip of it all, meaning the fashion of it all, even if you just wore a black top and a black skirt or black slacks or linen pants or whatever, even if it's the most simple of simple, which is actually goes a longer way than doing the most, as long as it fits your physique. What the young lady had on yesterday was nice. It wasn't that she looked bummy. Once again, it wasn't that she didn't have anything that looked nice. It just didn't go well with her body type, and so it just didn't help her whole representation. And she came in strong, business cards, all the things, which is great, but I can tell that, unfortunately, once again, I hate because it sounds so superficial and crazy, but I could tell that she wasn't taken as seriously as she should have been, because she is a legit artist, meaning like she's a new artist, but she's an artist, right? But she wasn't taken as seriously because of how she fully represented herself. So unfortunately, folks, that does still matter. What I would just say is wear what works for you, for your body type, what makes you feel confident. You know what I'm saying? I say we all have flaws and things we don't like about our bodies. I say maybe not put those things on display. Maybe put on display the areas of your shape and figure that you love. And then let it all be cohesive based off of the type of artist that you are, right? So that's just a whole long drawn out thing and encouragement and unsolicited advice I'm putting out there. And I hate that when I'm talking, a lot of times I'm just talking about myself, but it's because I'm using my journey as a point of reference to be of help, because a lot of people are not going to say certain things, or they're going to gatekeep certain information. There's not a lot of help out there. For there to be millions of videos on how to, with all these titles of how to increase your following and how to get people to buy into you and to stream your music. When you get to the meat and potatoes of these videos, a lot of times it's not information that is as helpful as the title makes it seem, right? And so I don't want to be one of those people who kind of doesn't share that information. So from the time that I decided that I was going to follow the call of God and do this whole artistry thing as a solo artist, I said that I was going to share my journey. So a big part of that is me talking about myself. And I can't wait till I can start having these conversations with other artists, so that it's not just about me talking about myself and sharing, helpful information, hopefully, but that you would also be getting said information from other artists. Because like I always say, it's not a one size fits all approach. What works for me may not work for another artist. What's been working for me is the old school way of doing things, while still incorporating the social media and the new school way of doing things, right? So the old school way of doing things is almost like how you would have your CDs, in the back of your trunk, right? And you pull up at clubs and go different places and pass out your CDs. I'm not quite doing that, but I've kind of taken on the idea of that. So I'm packing in a car with my team and my son and going to different cities and pulling up at open mics where I'm able to sing my own music, or sometimes, depending on the vibe, I'm singing a cover. Y'all know my favorite cover to sing is actually the Erykah Badu, Other Side of the Game. I get a lot of great feedback when I sing that song. And I'm pulling up at the local bars in my hometown. I'm still pulling up to the karaoke bar because that bar be lit. There's tons of people that are in there. And it's also a good way for me to get my chops up. Like, I've been going to the karaoke bar, getting my chops up for the last year at this point. So when I do pull up at open mics and I'm singing covers, I'm very comfortable, because I done been singing this at this packed out bar during karaoke night. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm kind of adopting a lot of the old school ways of breaking an artist, if you will, or getting your music out there and getting to know people, because that's also a big part of it, your relationships and forming relationships. And I'm just thankful that God is putting me in spaces to form, relationships and rapport with some great people. And not even just when it comes to the music industry, also in general, you know what I'm saying? And so, I'm enjoying getting to know people. I'm enjoying rubbing shoulders with other artists who are at the level that I'm at, being new, getting it from the mud. Like, it's really been fun, and it's really been an enjoyable experience. And then of course I'm utilizing social media as best as I can, and YouTube. Like all this past weekend, I was just watching a bunch of Ray Daniels videos. Love Ray Daniels. I've spoken about him before in my content. If you don't know, type Ray Daniels in YouTube and go from there. Listening to a lot of him, listening to Bag Fuel. That's a podcast. I always check in with the Joe Button podcast with certain things, but just listening to people who are discussing the industry and just what seems to potentially work, right? Each artist is going to be different things that make you that make it work for you. But there are also some things that we all could benefit from implementing. And I've just kind of been, reacquainting myself with that kind of information. I had a real low key weekend, and I utilized that as time to like really dive deep again into just getting the information, right? And you got to fish for it. And so I'm hoping that I'm able to put out more videos or audios, clips and things of helpful information that you don't necessarily have to fish for. And so, yes, all my new artists out there who are young ladies and young men, please know that how you look matters. And I hate to say it, and I sound like a broken record in saying how much I hate to say that, but it all needs to be in alignment. Your actual talent and gift with how you present yourself, how you show up and pull up. You know what I'm saying? All of that matters. How you speak with people. What I was at yesterday, I was, the person running the event acknowledged, in essence, my professionalism, right? Because this was the type of situation where there was communication and correspondence prior to the event. And so, she was able to recognize, within my correspondence and then with how I pulled up yesterday, my professionalism, that I was an artist who was like ready, like I thought this through, you know what I'm saying? And those things do matter. How you carry yourself, how you speak to people, how you represent yourself in written form, meaning the emails you're sending, are you taking the time to send professional emails? Are you punctuating things appropriately? Are you spelling things appropriately, right? Is the tone of your email professional? The new school tool that we have at our access and fingertips is Chat GPT. If writing is not your thing, that's cool. Use Chat GPT. They will write the email for you. You know what I'm saying? And so it's all those things. And it matters. Those things matter. And like I said, once you are in the room and people, okay, cool, she's talented or he's talented, cool, they look appropriate, it's all in alignment with their level of artistry. Okay, cool. But are they easy to work with? Were they professional? You know what I'm saying? Were they pleasant? Like, that really matters, So it's all the things, y'all. It's all of the things. So yeah, I feel like, I just want to be able to share as I'm experiencing certain things. And my apologies if you're tired of me speaking of myself, but that's my only point of reference that I have right now. And I did say that I was going to share this journey and experience. And so far, this year, it's really been a good year. I'm so excited. I'm so thankful and grateful. And, and even just having a transparent moment, I've always loved my voice and love how I sing. I've expressed this in my content a few times. But I never really know that I felt that other people appreciated it or thought that it was good or great or good enough, right? Just because I felt that way, which is really all that mattered to me. I didn't know that other people felt that way. But when you are trying to pursue this at a professional high level, you recognize the reality of it is yes, girl, you love what God has given you. You appreciate it for what it is. But you also know the other side of that is other people need to appreciate your artistry in order for them to invest in it, to stream it, to download it, to pull up at shows and all the things, right? And so that's where I would have moments of insecurity where it's like, I don't know if my vibe is everybody else's vibe, right? And I think God really showed me this year, between me at the karaoke bars, at the open mics, whether I'm singing my own music or I'm singing covers, at different events that I've sung at, that no, your voice is good enough. Other people agree with your own sentiments, right? I was singing at an open mic 2 weeks ago, and it was at a bar. I was singing a cover, and the moment I started singing, you could hear a pin drop in the bar. And I was like, y'all so quiet. Like, y'all making me nervous. And they were like, be glad that we're quiet, because it means that we're into what you're doing and we're paying attention. And Denise even reminded me, because she be with me in these streets, when I'm out here singing and stuff. And she was like, yo, everywhere you go, when you sing, it's like the room gets quiet. It's like, it's a certain calm over the room. The room was loud, but the moment that you opened your mouth to sing, everybody shut up. And it was just like, really? She was like, yeah. And then I started to kind of notice it when I would sing different places. It didn't matter if it was in the bar. It didn't matter if it was in more of an open mic geared in church, for churches, in churches or things of that matter. Even I did a festival in Mount Vernon at a well-known church. And I was like, I don't think that they got with my vibe, because I get it. Everybody's not going to get with my music, right? I sing my original music. And then at the end of it, the First Lady had a conversation with me regarding an opportunity and how much she loved what I did. So it's like, you just never know. And I think that was God's way of trying to remind me, stop selling yourself short, girl. I gave you what I gave you for specific reasons. It is more than good enough. And it's not just you who recognizes what I gave you. They all see it too. Which is why when you do go out and you do sing, you end up leaving with opportunities, and so I want to encourage y'all out there, because I know as an artist, we're sensitive about our art, our voices, whether you sing, you rap, our production, you produce, you're a musician, you're playing, like we're all sensitive to some degree about it. It's very vulnerable when you share your art with the world, and for all the critics out there, it's very easy to be super opinionated and to want to critique everybody else. But it takes, I was saying to my mom the other day, it takes a certain kind of crazy to put your art out there, because most people wouldn't have the gall or the balls to stand 10 toes down on their art, right? And so for those of us that do, we all may be a little ooh in the best of ways though, right? It's a certain level of confidence and balls to the wallness that you have to have, right? And so, even if you have moments of insecurity about certain things within your artistry, or you may believe in it, but you have insecurity that other people will dig it and get with it, don't worry. God created you and gave you the gift that he has given you for specific reasons. And yes, there are people who need to hear what you have and who will love it. But not only love it, they need it. So yeah, y'all, I've been on here flapping my gums for 47 minutes. But I just wanted to give a little 1-2-1-2 and check in with y'all. Thank you for all the birthday love. Let me end, I guess, officially with my birthday reflections. I had an amazing birthday. I felt like I didn't want to do anything major. I was out grocery shopping with my son a couple of days before my birthday, and I hit up my girls. I said, you know what? Pull up at the karaoke bar. That's what I want to do. If you're available, come through. And I have a very small inner circle. Not everybody was able to come through, but 3 of them were able to come through, which was so much fun. And we had a ball. I got a lot of love. I was able to sing karaoke. People were buying me drinks in the bar. The owner was buying me drinks. Not buying me, but giving me drinks, shots. I had a great time. And then, when it was I rang my birthday in that way. And then for the full day of my birthday, I was home with my husband and my child. And my husband bought me what I love, stuffed clams. I love baked clams. Many people may not know that, but I love baked clams. And we ordered in, my husband went and picked up the food, and I was able to have a quiet, birthday with my family. But I was able to ring it in, at the bar, the karaoke spot, ratchet the way I wanted to, and then was able to have a relaxing day after that with some good food. So thank you for all the birthday love. And like I said, this was my year of rejuvenation in more areas than one. And I think the biggest lessons that I've learned is pretty much, even though I've known this, but everything happens in time when it's supposed to happen. Don't focus on what's not happening. Focus on getting yourself ready. And it may take some time. It may take some years. But as uncomfortable and annoying and frustrating and challenging as that may be, focus on just preparing yourself. And this is not just solely about career and stuff like that. This could be preparing yourself for marriage. This could be preparing yourself for a health journey. This could be preparing yourself in just so many different areas of your life, right? Before we see the change that we want, or before we arrive at the outcomes that we want, there's going to be that uncomfortability. But you need that, because that's what's pushing you to grow. And it's getting you and pruning you, getting you ready for what's to come. That's like the training, right? Like people who join the military or who join the fire department, the firefighters and the police officers have to go to an academy to prepare themselves, where they're doing book work as well as physical exercises to prepare themselves for what they're about to get themselves into, right? And so before you could get to the money, before you could get to the prestige of whatever that position is, they have to go through a boot camp, if you will. Same with the military. Gotta go through an academy before they can get there, right? And that's life for a lot of us. We have to go through the uncomfortability before we can get to the blessing of it all, right? And just remembering that this is so much bigger than me. And so don't get caught up with the small stuff, or don't get caught up in your ego. This is so much bigger than you. And at any given point in time, God could take it all away. So be grateful, be thankful, give people grace. And in giving people grace, know that we are all flawed humans. You know what I'm saying? And that at the end of the day, what God calls us to do, aside from spreading the good news about the gift of salvation that He has given to us, love each other. You know what I'm saying? Love each other. And I get it, because relationships, whether they're romantic, their marriage situations, or their friendships, are frustrating and annoying sometimes. Like we can become turned off. I've experienced being turned off by friends, right? Like there are times where I'm over it and I just want to walk away, right? But I had to remind myself, is that what God would really want you to do? Now, if that's what He wants me to do, then it is what it is. But in the same vein, it's like God still calls you to love. I'm studying the Bible as a whole, right? And with my devotional guide, a lot of times they'll start you in the New Testament. So it started me in the Gospels, right? And it's been so interesting reading at this adult big age of mine about when God was walking the earth, and how He formed these friendships with the disciples, and the things that He experienced, and the teachings and the miracles performed, and all the things, you know what I'm saying, leading up to Him being crucified and dying and raising, on the third day, right? Like being raised from the dead on the third day. Like there's so much that happened before we got to that point. And it just was so enjoyable to be able to read about it. And even when, I think I mentioned this before in my content, but even His disciples were like His best friends. And then even within the 12 disciples, He still had like an inner circle within that circle, right? But someone from the inner circle, Peter, like denying Him, like that's betrayal. And then of course we all know what happened with Judas, and just the things that he went through, but He still loved them. He still loved them and treated them as such. And that's a challenge for a lot of us humans, if I'm keeping it real, right? Like, you could have a loved one do you wrong. Could you imagine? Could you imagine somebody acting like they don't know me? You are like family to me, and you're acting like you don't know me and want nothing to do with me because you want to save yourself because of your own fear, right? Could you imagine that? But the way that God responded and still loved on Peter, like, it's crazy. And so that's another thing. Just, yes, I've been on this giving people grace thing for some years now, but it was to a deeper level, because I experienced a few things, this year that called for me to have to give grace, like wholeheartedly, you know what I'm saying? And not just in lip service, but like really give grace, and so in life, I always say this: life is so short, and the rate that young people are dying, people in my age bracket are dying, like, I'm just like, Lord, I want to fulfill your purpose for my life and why you created me, and enjoy it while I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And so something as simple as going out with my friends, I enjoyed that time thoroughly, the simple things, and just trying to stay on the straight and narrow, because I have really been drawing nigh and getting close to God. The devil's always trying to knock me off my square, always trying to attack me from every angle. So I try to keep that armor on. I'm staying prayed up and just trying to do what it is I'm supposed to do in my little corner of the world, if that makes sense. So those are like my takeaways, my birthday reflections, and balancing more. I'm glad that I'm balancing things out more, where I'm able to have work hard and do all the things I need to do on that front with all the things I have going on, but also able to play in the sense of enjoying the other side of life that we all need to help rejuvenate us day to day. And then really just dedicating time every day with God, my devotional time, my prayer time. I try to start every day off that way. And that's really been helping a lot. Like I've said before, it helps with my perspective on a lot of things. It helps with my ability to love on people and give grace in spite of. It helps just in so many different areas of my life. It's helped to prepare me to even do what I'm doing. Because anyone who knows me knows this is really not what it was supposed to be, right? But to get up and go and sing all these places, to get up and go and to sing, I feel like every week I'm out singing, which is great, right? But to be able to have the energy and the time to be able to do that, the tenacity, all of the things, like my spiritual journey is what is helping me. Like me really digging into the Bible has been what has sustained me in a lot of different things and scenarios. So yeah, let me stop flapping my gums now. Thank y'all so much for listening, and enjoy the rest of your week. And until next time.